Hey there, Parker Reed here, and welcome to PR Media, your home for everything movies and music through my eyes. And today it's a review of the new Rob Zombie album. Let me read this very long title for you. It's the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy. So my history with Rob Zombie is a bit complicated over the years. I think he's been fine. I've enjoyed big songs like Super Beast, Dracula, Living Dead Girl, and his stuff with White Zombie like More Human Than Human. I've seen him live 2.1 times, I would basically say. I've seen him twice at the Festival Rock Fest in Cadott, Wisconsin. And then another year he headlined and only played 2 songs because his voice hurt, and then he left the stage. It was a whole big controversy, a whole big thing.
I've never done this before. I can't even talk, man. There's no way I can do this show. I'm sorry. It's fucking bullshit, I know. That's what fucking happens.
But I enjoy his music. I think it's a bit one note. It's a lot of metal, disco, hip-hop inspired stuff, and that's basically it. A lot of spooky imagery, a lot of Frankenstein, a lot of Dracula, a lot of the Mummy, and that kind of thing. He's mostly focused on his directorial efforts lately, like he did the Halloween remakes back in the day, The Devil's Rejects, and a bunch of other horror films that he's done since. He really enjoys that, so he puts most of his effort into his films, and that's great. He's been doing music for decades. He doesn't need to keep putting out record after record, and this is his first record in quite a few years. So let's talk about Rob Zombie's new album. So to start things off, I think if you're a Rob Zombie fan, you're really going to like this album. There's some bangers on here. I enjoyed my time with it overall. The song The Triumph of King Freak, Eclipse, Preservation, and Superstition, which was the lead single, I think that hits extremely hard. It's going to be a great live song, and it's just really powerful. Rob Zombie's great about that. He has a very gravelly, low voice. John 5, his guitarist, is one of the best in the game. He's always throwing out cool, interesting things, so this song was a banger. That's what got me interested in listening to this album to begin with. And then the Ballad of Sleazy Rider and then Shadow of the Century Man, both in that same vein as King Freak was, but they're also great songs. They could be great fun radio songs. That's basically it. There's not a lot here as far as depth goes. It's basically all about monsters, all about women, all about having a good time. I'm not opposed to any of those things. That's just pretty much all you're going to get on this new Rob Zombie album. Other standouts on this album include The Eternal Struggles of the Howling Man and Crow Killer Blues. I think both these songs are really strong. I love the lyrical content. It seems a little bit deeper than Rob Zombie usually goes, a little bit heavier themes, but at the end of the day, they are just going to kind of mix in with the rest of his discography, which I do enjoy. This is his 7th solo studio album. Of course, it's not going to be the most original thing in the world, so as long as it feeds the machine of Rob Zombie, I think this album is doing its job. But I do have a few drawbacks with this album. First is that it's at 17 songs. You think, oh my gosh, this is like an hour and a half epic. No, most of these songs have interludes in between them, which range from anywhere from 40 seconds to 2 minutes. I think you could have left a lot of those out. They offer some interesting musical ideas, but ultimately they don't blend into the next song that well, so they feel like a placeholder. They feel like something he just threw in there to pad out the runtime. He wanted to have as many songs on here as possible. John 5 wanted to flex as many musical ideas as he had in his pocket on this album. That's basically why these interludes exist. I didn't like him that much. Sure, I was intrigued by some of the musical passages in them, especially the track Hovering Over the Dull Earth, but ultimately they were just kind of inconsequential. And while I said some of his throwaway lyrics and some of his throwaway ideas are the charm of Rob Zombie's music, sometimes it's just a bit much like on the track Shake Your Ass, Smoke Your Grass. The meaning of the song is just thoroughly intertwined in that song title, and it's basically all there is. You want to shake your ass and smoke some pot. It's like, dude, you're a middle-aged man. This has got to stop at a certain point. I just kind of laughed at that song throughout its 3-minute runtime. And while I did have some problems with Rob Zombie's The Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy, I did have fun with it, and sure, some of the long song titles are a bit redundant and annoying. I'll read some of them to you just in case you aren't familiar. Like I said before, The Triumph of King Freak, Eclipse, Preservation, and Superstition. Then we have 18th Century Cannibals, Excitable Morlocks, and A One-Way Ticket on the Ghost Train, which is also the worst song on the album. They kind of go for this weird honky-tonk country vibe, which John 5 is great at, but then it bleeds into this very heavy, overly distorted Rob Zombie song. It's just not very good. But if you're looking for depth on a Rob Zombie album, you are looking in the wrong kind of place. This is just fun. It's just something for you to turn on, not think about very much, and just kind of vibe to. So my final rating for the Lunar Injection Kool-Aid Eclipse Conspiracy is a solid 7.5 out of 10. That's much higher than I think a lot of you would put it. That's even higher than I thought I'd put it, but upon repeat listens, I enjoyed it more and more and more and more and more. So I think you should definitely check out this Rob Zombie album. It's one of my favorites he's ever put out. It's just not a game changer because I don't think any Rob Zombie album is. Thank you so much for watching this video. If you liked what you saw here, you can check us out on Facebook or Instagram and like, comment, and subscribe if you so choose. My name is Parker Reed. You've been watching PR Media. Keep supporting physical media, and I'll see you next time. Thanks, guys.